Hello, I'm Martin Lewis from TYM Tractors UK, and this is a quick overview video of the F36H tractor. This tractor has a 35 horsepower TYM powered engine, and it's hydrostatic drive. So main controls are you have one pedal to go forward and one pedal to go to reverse. These pedals are also connected to the engine throttle, so as you go forward it'll throttle the engine up. Separately, you also have a hand throttle to set your PTOs for running something on the rear or something like that. On the left hand side you have your brake pedal, and on the right hand side here you have your PTO switch. You have independent PTO or auto PTO. Auto PTO has a little additional feature of on the rear linkage. There's a height sensor for the linkage itself. When you raise the linkage up past that height sensor, it'll turn the PTO off. This is good for things like headland turns, or if you want to protect the angle of the PTO, because if you go too much angle you'll end up damaging your PTO. So I often set those so that it doesn't do that when you lift it. You just press the PTO to turn it off. Connected with the PTO on the left hand side you have a selector lever for running either at 540 full power. So you have a 540 lever, and you can run the revs, the engine revs, at 2,600 RPM, and that is maximum power of the engine to give you maximum power at the rear PTO. But you can also select an economy setting, run it at about 1,700 revs, and you will still get 540 at the rear, but obviously for doing the same work you're burning less diesel and it's a bit quieter, etc. On the left hand side here you have a regular horn and light switch, and along here you have your manual DPF regen. It's a stage 5 35 horsepower tractor, so it has a DPF filter fitted as standard. That will regen if you get it hot enough as you're working, but sometimes it might come up on the screen to say you need to do a manual regen. In that case you can press this button and it does a little cycle and manually clears the soot out of the DPF filter. Here you have your cruise control, so as you press forward or reverse on the tractor, then you can hold that button in and it will continue at the same speed. And you have your hazard warning lights. You have a little bit of adjustment on the steering wheel. On the left hand side you have a momentary foot diff lock and a rear diff lock and selectable 2 4-wheel drive. And on the right hand side here you have your handbrake. Coming backwards on the tractor we've got standard position control for the rear linkage up and down, and you also have draft control. So if you set up the draft at the rear, then you can use that for things like ploughing or subsoiling, where you're doing something underneath the ground and you want the implement to stay level whilst the tractor is going over undulating ground. Then you've got that feature on there as well. And also you have the rear remote lever as well to run a double acting spool valve at the rear, which we'll go and look at now. Just a note on the tyres, this tractor is set up on industrial pattern tyres. We also have a turf pattern and an agricultural pattern, and you can see those on other videos on the website. Just coming around the back, this is another feature of the PTO. You have a button at the rear. If you put your handbrake on and have your hazard warning lights on and hold this button in for 5 seconds, then the PTO will run without you sitting on the seat. That's to enable you to run things like maybe wood chippers or something on the back that you need to not be sitting on the seat and use. Here you have the double acting spool valve to run whatever you want at the rear. You have a standard Cat 1 linkage with quick release balls. You have a standard tow bar which is adjustable. You can pull it out so it comes out about this far. And you have the adjustable sensor for the height of the linkage to run the PTO out in auto PTO is just on there as well. You just turn it with a little screw. You can put your number plate here. It's fully road registerable. It's stage 5 compliant. All the tractors are ready to register for the road in the UK. You also have a folding ROPS frame. Take these pins out and you can fold it down and get it into sheds or whatever else you want along the way. Coming around the front of the tractor, We'll have a quick look in the engine compartment. As I said, it's a 3-cylinder stage 5 engine made by TYM. You have your DPF filter here in the middle. You have your oil filler for the engine. You have your dipstick down there. You have your fuel filter, oil filter for the engine. Nice and easy to get to. This is a hydrostatic drive, obviously, so you have an oil cooler for the hydro drive. You have your air filter, nice and easy to get to, and your battery, and your grass screen here to remove that to get rid of grass when you're mowing grass, etc. And on the right hand side you have your fuel tank. It's nice and easy to get to. It's not up behind the seat like on some tractors. It's a nice easy access fuel filter there. So in a nutshell, that is the F36 Hydro. I just want to show you one thing about the turning radius. They're very good on the F-Series tractors. So we'll start it up. You can see the angle of the turn is very good. And you can see how easily you can control the tractor. Ideal for use with loaders, etc. when you're using a hydro, or for grass mowing, because you can go backwards and forwards very easily. And you have 3 ranges on your hydrostatic. This is the lowest range. This is the medium range. And the high range. And that's the cruise control, and that's the F36H.